Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, what's up? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos every week. So today we're going to be talking about types of pedicures, scheduling, and pricing in part 2 of the pedicure series. If you missed last week's video when I break down pedicuring 101, the bare essentials of what you need to get yourself up and started, I will leave a link below and above, and you can go check that out. But right now, we're going to be talking about the different types of pedicures that you can offer. How do we schedule the right time for these types of services? How do we charge for these services? And how to create your pedicure service menu. So we're going to get into all of that and more right now. So there are many different types of pedicures that you can offer. So we always want to start with our basic, bare, minimal pedicure, and then we just graduate to different types of spas and we level up in services. But there's also some additional foot services that you can offer. Let's say you don't have the space, your clientele usually doesn't have the time, or a lot of you text like, I don't want to touch feet. So if you're one of those people where you don't really want to do too much with the foot, but you do want to kind of cater to your customers, any type of foot needs they have throughout the summer months and the warmer months, then some other alternatives might benefit you as well. So let's go over some of the industry standards first when it comes to pedicures. So the first pedicure that we have is our basic pedicure. Every salon, spa, service person, whatever, nail tech, they're going to have a basic. You have to have something to build from. So your basic pedicure, this is going to be your standard pedicure. Now, how standard you want to make it, that is going to be up to you. But there are some bare minimums, again, that you just have to cover when it comes to offering a basic pedicure. So the basic pedicure is going to run you about 30 minutes long in time. That is our industry standard for a pedicure. Maybe about 40 minutes or so if you are going to include gel polish, or you want to give the time for your customers that most likely will do gel polish. You want to give yourself like an extra 10-15 minutes depending on your polishing speed for just polishing, but the basic pedicure should take you about 30 minutes. So your basic pedicure is going to include all your toenail detailing work. So that means clipping the cuticles if necessary, pushing back the epinicium, shaping toenails, filing, buffing, some type of light callus reduction. Notice I said reduction, not removal. We don't want to remove any type of calluses, but we just want to label it as callus reduction, so they don't walk in with this expectation that I'm walking in with crusted toes and I'm leaving with baby soft feet. Not today, ma'am, not in 30 minutes. So we want to make sure we just say callus reduction and some type of light foot massage. When I say light, we're just basically lotioning the foot and then polish. That is going to be your basic pedicure. So the next one that we have is our spa pedicure. So your spa pedicure is going to be your leveled up pedicure from your basic. So it will include everything I just said in the basic pedicure. However, the difference between a spa and a basic is now we're going to be talking about some type of skin treatment. We are catering more towards the skin. Again, in spa services, we go all the way to the knee. So now we're going to be including the calf in anything that we do. Scrub, lotion, massage, all that stuff. We're going to be including the whole entire calf and not just the foot. So remember, basic, it's just the foot, ankle down. Spa, knee down. So we're going to be thinking about what can we offer that can kind of enhance our basic pedicure. So the spa pedicure should take you anywhere from about 45 minutes, again, maybe an hour if you are including gel polish or not, or want to take the time for that. But a standard spa pedicure, let's say somebody just had no polish, is going to be about 45 minutes. And again, we want to include some type of skin conditioning treatment. So again, I can't tell you exactly what to do. You know your clientele. You have to go off of their needs. So what can skin conditioning treatments be? This could be anything from just adding a scrub to just adding paraffin to adding some type of moisturizing lotion. All of that. It can be as much or as little as you want. I do recommend, pro tip, don't throw everything into a spa. Don't have basic and spa and throw everything into your spa, because then how do we level up from that? So if I were to say my basic doesn't include any scrub, my spa does, that leaves me room for a third pedicure that I could add for an additional price. It's going to include everything those two did plus something else. And then a fourth one, everything else those had plus something else. We want to be able to build. So if you just give one option or two options and you throw everything into those options, how do we create different types of pedicures? So we want to think about that when we're starting to level up. So again, it could be as little as much as you choose to. Some people find that they don't want to have all these options for pedicures. They just want to do something like simple. They just want to offer one or two and that's it. I disagree, and my clientele will tell you that they love when I switch out my pedicures. I think it's so fun to just have a different thing. They have a different scent, a different feel when I offer something new, because I offer something new, I do it, I take it away. Some stuff comes back, like my jelly pedicure, that will come back in like spring, summer. The dry pedicure I only do in the winter. So certain things are only seasonal, but they enjoy like, ooh, what's that? You have something new? Let's try that today. Even if they only do it once and they're like, it wasn't all that. I'm going to go back to whatever I was doing. They still tried it. They still enjoyed it, whatever the case may be. So we just want to think about that when we're starting to level up and create different things. And lastly, we have our specialty or a themed type of pedicure. So this is going to be a possible third option again. So it's going to include everything the first two did in your basic and your spa. But this time it's going to be some type of specialty or theme. When I say specialty, I mean it's going to cater to something. Maybe it's going to be a moisturizing, hydrating, rejuvenating, something for the skin. Or maybe it's going to be themed because it's going to be pink because it's Valentine's Day, or rose petals because it's Mother's Day, and everything is pink or rose themed and scented. Whatever that means to you. So this is a third option. Again, a good idea if you wanted to just do something seasonal. See how your customers feel about like a third option or another option. If they take to it, if they love it, then you can kind of continue it. It's seasonal is a good time, or themed pedicure is a good time to just throw something else out there different, especially if you've been doing the same old song and dance for a little while now and they just want something new. This also will include some type of a longer massage in addition to whatever you're doing with your spa. It's going to be a little bit longer than that, and just maybe about a minute or two longer massage. Again, going up to the knee, we're catering to the skin. It's everything your spa has, but it's just basically switching out your products for something that's going to be specialty treatment or it's going to be themed. And this will run you roughly about the same time as your spa, unless you do another step in, then you want to give yourself about 10 minutes, let's say, in booking per step that you're going to be doing in addition to just cuticle work. So this is another option that you can do. So some additional alternatives that you can offer. So I do offer additional alternatives, especially in the summer, because sometimes people, they do their nails a little bit more and then they'll do their feet in the winter, and in the summer it's this. They just want a little quick whatever because they're going on vacation, but they don't really need a pedicure. So these are where these little alternatives are going to come in. So again, you can offer everything I'm talking about right now, or you can just offer what I just spoke about, the basics, or you can just offer the alternatives. It's your world, boo. Do what you need to do. It is your business. This is a business owner, and this is why we have to make these decisions. So let's go over some of the alternatives that you could possibly offer in addition to or instead of the basic and spa pedicure. So again, these are good for people that don't have the time to do a pedicure. Some people don't want to pay for a pedicure. It's just as real as that. If you're going to do all of these things and charge 50, 60 bucks, some people, especially people that don't really have bad feet or that aren't that particular or picky, they'll pay 20 bucks at a mom and pop shop and just get their feet done. We want to bring them in to us. We want to lock them in as a nail and a foot client as well. So if it's the price, these alternatives will help as well. So the first thing that I like to offer is just a basic polish change. Very simple. It's going to include a quick repolish, light lotion, literally just so you're not ashy when you leave. But like, we're not even talking about massage. We're talking about just lotioning. We're doing enough lotion and rubbing it in enough so that it's not visible anymore. That is all. This is good for someone who just, again, needs a quick repolishing. I have vacation next week, but I don't need a pedicure. You just did it 2 weeks ago. But I want my toes to be fresh. Or for a polish change, because this is something that's quick. And if you don't have the space to do some of the other pedicure services, these are really good. When I was in the shop, we did a lot of the pedicure, the quickie stuff. We did it at my table. It's called lower your chair, put your foot on my lap, let's go. So these are basically things that you can do that can be really, really quick. This is gonna be about 15, maybe 20 minutes on your scheduling. We just wanna make sure that they know what they're getting. This is just gonna be removing the old polish and polishing the new. I'm not cutting. I'm not filing. I'm not shaping anything. I'm not adding acrylic on your toes. I'm not doing any of that stuff. This is taking off old polish and putting on new one. So this is how we build up on our alternatives. Which brings me to another one. And this is a good pedicure, again, to start off with. So we call this like a quick pedicure refresher, anything of that sort. So this is for someone that wants a polish change, but a little bit more. So now, in something like this, I'm going to take off the old polish. I'm going to just file a little bit. I'm going to buff. If she needs to kind of have them evened out a little bit, I'm going to do some light toenail stuff, and then I'm going to repolish you. Again, this is good for somebody that maybe I've had some customers do this several times because some people just don't have calluses. They don't have bad skin. They just need their toenails cut and polished. They don't need all that other stuff. They'll throw lotion on or they do whatever on their own at home. So they don't really need it. So it's a good option, especially if you are a tech that has a lot of young clientele. Young girls don't really have crazy feet. They haven't been walking that long. They don't know. They don't have crazy feet. They're fine with something like this. And it's like half the price of a regular pedicure. And for something like this, again, we would schedule about 20, maybe 30 minutes, but I would say more along like the 20-minute mark, because again, we're not doing anything to the bottom of the foot. We're going to do everything that was included into the polish change, plus again, just filing, shaping, and kind of cutting the toenails if need be. And lastly, we have one of my faves. We have the dry pedicure. So this is everything that your basic pedicure is going to include. Every single step is going to be booked for the same amount of time, about 30 minutes. And it has all the benefits of a real pedicure, except there's no water. So I choose to give them some type of hydration, we should say, by using I use a keratin foot sock, and you can find that on my website, what I use for my dry pedicures. And also if it's like a hot towel or something at the end, just so they're getting like, you have to wipe off the dust, something. We can't leave them totally dry. But it's going to include all the same stuff. So we have toenail shaping, cutting, filing, a little light callus reduction. We have all that stuff, polishing, etc. So all that's going to be included in the dry pedicure. If you want to see how I do my dry pedicure, I will leave a link above to a video that I did for dry pedicures. And you can go see how that's done and decide if maybe that's something that you would like to offer as well. So when creating your pedicure service menu, you want to ask yourself some basic questions. Again, I can just guide you in the right way. I cannot tell you what to do. You want to think about your space, your time, your clientele, the supplies that you have. You want to put all of this into consideration, and then we build off of that. So for example, some questions you might want to ask yourself is, what is my basic pedicure going to include? Okay, my basic pedicure is going to include toenail shaping, filing, buffing, polishing. Boom. You want to ask, what is going to be included? What are the steps that you're going to be taking? Write them down so you know. You are an employee of yourself. You have to train yourself to know the steps of the services that you're going to be offering. So what is going to be the steps of your pedicure? Okay, I'm going to cut the toenails. I'm going to push back the cuticle. I'm going to clip. I'm going to buff. I'm going to polish. What are the steps that you're going to be taking in this pedicure? So you can see it on paper, and I do suggest writing this down. See it on paper, the steps that you're going to be included, so when you jump to the next level, we can add just to the bottom of that list. Another question is, how long is it going to be? What is going to be the length of time for that first basic pedicure? Again, I told you the industry standard. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe your basic you want to be extra for the basic and build off of that. That's up to you. So what is going to be the duration of time for your basic pedicure? And lastly, what is the price going to be? And we always want to price ourselves according to what is in our local area. What are the shops charging? You don't want to be outrageously overpriced, but again, we don't want to underprice them. Industry standard for a basic now, I mean, they can go anywhere from 20, 30 bucks to 50, 60 bucks. That's a basic, and build off of that. So what is your area calling for when it comes to just doing a regular standard pedicure? So after we've created our basic, now we want to ask ourselves these same questions and honestly just add on to that. So for example, we're going to ask ourselves those same questions, look at what we wrote down, and just add something to that. I gave you the breakdown a minute ago about what's in the spa and the specialty. We're just going to add on to that. So if I just want to say, now my spa is going to have scrub and it's going to have a longer massage. This is also going to help you in writing your description for your booking site or your service menu or advertisement, however you want to advertise to your customers. They want to know what's in your pedicure. I always list the steps and what I'm going to be doing. It's going to have a soap, a this, a that, a that, a that. I'm not just going to say new pedicure, 80 bucks, boom. That's not going to work out. They want to know, what am I getting for this money? Why is this different? What is this doing for me? So in writing this and creating your service menu, it's also going to help you just explain to your customers the benefits of each different type of service that you have to offer. So again, we just want to look at what we wrote down, add to the bottom of that, and think about the products that you're going to be using. If I'm going to spend 50 bucks on a hydrating, rejuvenating skin treatment and offer that and know that I'm going to run through this tube, I have to put that in my price and make that money back on top of whatever else I'm going to be offering and doing. So think about the products that you're going to be using, and then you want to scale your price up a little bit. Pro tip from me to you is you don't want to get too crazy between your prices. We don't want the pedicures to compete against each other. I don't want to do one for 30 and one for 50 because that's a clear choice of what someone's going to choose. They're going to choose $30 ones over 50. But if I have one for 35 and then one for like 42 for $7, okay. $7 adds up when you have several people doing a pedicure. $10, adds up. I wouldn't go past 10. I would not. 8 to 10 between each pedicure. That's it. Anything more than that, me personally, I'm going to choose the cheaper one. I'm cheap. So we want to make sure that we're thinking about that. And again, your clientele. Are they willing to spend? What is the max that they're willing to pay for a pedicure? Because at the end of the day, this is not Fifth Avenue in Manhattan and no one's paying $90 for a pedicure. They just don't do that. So we want to think about the products that we're using, the time, and the quality of the service when we are pricing these pedicures. And lastly, pro tip, be mindful of how long you're going to take. If you are new to doing pedicures or your space is in a unique situation where you're going to have to kind of clean and walk down and dump your foot back basin and this and that, we want to make sure you have to schedule setup and cleanup in these times as well, and know your speed and schedule the right amount of time. People will not mind sitting. If you mark a pedicure for 90 minutes, that's not going to be a turn off to people. As long as you tell them this is how much the pedicure is, this is how long it's going to be, they don't mind. Don't tell someone it's going to be a 30-minute pedicure and then you end up taking 55 minutes. They will have a problem with that. People get a little bit like antsy sitting down too much and then just like, I can't, I don't want to do it. And we don't want them to run out of time to the point where they end up not doing it at all. Also, another pro tip from me to you, don't tell anybody, but if you are going to offer pedicures, always start with the pedicure and then do their nails. Because if you run out of time, they have already done their feet. They came to you for their nails. If you do their nails first and they run out of time or they just don't feel like it anymore, they will drop the pedicure because somebody can always get a pedicure somewhere else. So that's one of the reasons why 99.9% of the time, I always start with the feet. Also, too, it could be a little like back breaking. I like to rotate where I'm sitting, so I don't ever want to do pedicure, nails and pedicure. Like I like to bounce between because my butt needs a break between the two different chairs. My back is a different situation, and surprisingly, sometimes just doing a pedicure is a little bit of release on my back from sitting like straight in the nail chair than versus like a little bit hunched over. So it's different, but we always want to make sure that we're kind of keeping ourselves ergonomically correct when we are working, especially doing feet. Guys, I hope this video helps. I hope that you are able to build a pedicure and start offering these services. If you have any questions or anything that you want to ask me in addition to something I didn't mention, maybe in the last video or in this video, please do not hesitate to leave me a comment below. Next time, I'm going to be showing you how I perform my newest pedicure. I have a spa milk and honey pedicure. So I'm going to be breaking down and showing you how I do that, because I have another spa pedicure video, and I'll leave a link above if you want to check that out. But like recently I was looking at it and I was like, this quality is like, it's bad. So I want to redo that on the new camera so it's nice and crystal clear, it's nice and close for you guys. You can see what I'm doing, all the detailed work, and I'll be showing you how I perform that pedicure. Do not forget to like and subscribe to this video. Give it a thumbs up. I will appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.